that was the difference in winning that ball game, and this is the reason why we're 1-1, and they have home court advantage now.
Referees John Hunt, Brian States, and Paul Hansen, and the percent from the free-throw line with the playoffs and regular season combined. So we're coming up to the 1 minute mark, 1-0 for the London Lightning. Antoine Mason hits the three and gets the crowd going here on a Tuesday night from the Scotiabank Center.
Yeah, Antoine Mason was outstanding in game number 2. He was 2 for 7 from beyond, 7 points, 10 for 21 from the field, and he was a catalyst down the stretch in the fourth quarter, helping Halifax win that game.
Just saw Ryan Anderson hit the three and made it 4-3 for the meantime, but Halifax came back and got the bucket and makes it 5-4. Looks like we're going to be in for another high scoring affair so far for a second. So now they'll settle it down. Antoine Mason. Mentioned had a pretty fantastic game too, 27 points. And CJ Washington also had a pretty good one, hits the three. Inbound here for the London Lightning.
And he was outstanding from beyond the arc, and he was getting it done from that distance. He was very good on the afternoon.
Last year he had 2 points in game number 3. Now he just surpassed that with 1 shot.
He surpassed that in game number 2 as well. He has 0 points over 5 minutes played for the London Lightning.
Mason once again, the hot hand, 11-9. Anderson, what's good for the goose, good for the gander.
Downtown early in this game.
He's had a lot of success against the Hurricanes, 10 points in the first matchup these teams had in the regular season, as Clinkscales hits one.
After that, they try to keep their heads.
Anderson with the ball, drives, and gets the bucket.
Yeah, he's going to work right now.
One of the veterans here in this league. He's actually 24th all-time in NBL field goals, 426. That goes to show you how long he's been.
Nice dribble crossover. Just was unable to stay in control of the basketball.
So far, Kyle Julius not afraid to go to his bench here as he brought Marvin Phillips.
They're looking for contact, and it's just not there. But Antoine Mason continuing his hot shooting, and a great play there as Joel Friesen knocks down a 3 there and step back. Got to close out all the way off.
Last year when these teams met. Clinkscales now trying to set it up. Cox out there. There's White. Tough bucket as the clock was winding down. It into offense. Billy White, pocket picked. And now numbers 3-on-2 the other way. Williamson fakes, takes, and bucket.
That's going to be what the man.
There is Criswell. Cox on him. Under a minute to go. Phillips puts it up and gets the nice touch in the finish. Makes it 12 to go here in the opening quarter. Dixon, Cox, through the paint, contact, and bucket.
That was a nice play, big to big there, Renault.
Clinkscales with the ball. Cox setting up a screen there. And Poole gently from the corner. Clinkscales, Doug Herring Jr. They know each other pretty well. Poole now, corner 3, yes!
There you go, I told you, carry over to the second quarter.
Off Phillips, but right into the hands of Dixon. And that hits Ryan Anderson. 7 to shoot now, Poole over Phillips, yes! Oh yeah, you can see he's even a little when the circus was in town, Vince, but unable to get the finish. And another Poole 3.
Open. That's 4 straight for Mike Poole.
You know that Joey Haywood's going to bring some energy here to the floor here for the Halifax Hurricanes. Here's Renardo Dixon, back it in, capers, and gets the bucket. And they'll take that one-on-one balance, putting that shot up.
Yeah, that's a tough shot there by Washington. Outstanding defense to push him away from the rim by Royce White.
Johnson, bucket.
Well, there you go. You can't allow this guy to get hot from beyond the arc for the London Lightning.
Here's Dixon now for 3. Yes, sir. He's been doing.
Although Dixon is a tough person to defend because you don't know what you're going to get from him. He can score what's inside the rim. Is tough jump shot there by Kyle Johnson.
Back to back.
He's no stranger shooting that shot from beyond the arc.
5.5 gone here in quarter number 2. Mason puts up the three.
Wow, it's
Boy, it's making it. Dixon's getting three. Pool's getting three, and Mason's getting three.
Yeah, the adjustment definitely needs to be made defensively. Royce White gets an easy one off a Kyle Johnson miss. But I mean, they're battling around the cylinder. You can knock it away. The defender can, as long as he doesn't put his hand through and up through the cylinder.
Oh, Jam City there by White.
Yeah, right on cue.
Blocked out on what we could see at court side, so we just want to mention that right now. White looking for another one, rejected, but that was only just a short time as he had a chance and puts it up and in, and starting to get going is White. Back-to-back buckets. Haywood jumper from the elbow, good. And puts it up, falls down, and that doesn't go. Tap to Mason now. Antoine Mason now with Haywood. Off the window and in.
Great decision in transition by Mason.
The home crowd pretty happy with what they see on the scoreboard. 47-42. Williamson, wild shot, but Royce White put back in bucket. You talked about him getting.
He got himself in great position to rebound the offensive rebound and get the easy putback.
This is one of the stories is that the Hurricanes are out rebounding as Bowen with a deep two.
If they're able to do that, then they continue to stay close in this game and relatively be in a position to win the game down the stretch. And that's a nice give and go off of that screen, that backdoor usable defensively by the Hurricanes.
Gives him 12. Hurricanes with their first possession here of the second half. White driving, lost it, but Washington, right place, right time.
As he went down the end of the court there after he knocked down that free throw.
Yeah, he's had like pretty well 6 games, back-to-back double figures in points against the Hurricanes. You take into the playoffs and regular season as well as the 2 playoff games last year.
Yeah, he's been very good.
Ooh, what a nice little backhand there by Royce White.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's wide open without the basketball, and the Lightning are finding him wide open, and he's making them pay and finishing at the rim.
Watson with the take, and Washington there puts the garbage in.
And not a good night shooting thus far for Kyle Johnson. Can't find his range here at Scotiabank Center.
Numbers the other way. Kaduga, can he get the shot off? Yes, he does, and that's a smart play by the second half. They seem to be, you know, as you say, limiting the Hurricanes to one and dones as White there with the hand signals, but they'll just throw it out to Anderson outside the arc.
It was all Anderson. In the second quarter, it carried over to the bigs, and Royce White got into the action. So the two-headed monster starting to fire on all cylinders for the Lightning.
Speaking of a two-headed monster, there's Bannon can shoot from outside, getting that three, 58-54. Anderson, quarter 3, he's got one in his back pocket. Actually, it's a deep 2, pardon me, according to.
He knocked it out of bounds off himself.
See that the London Lightning maybe have found their legs here. White, two-handed flush,
I tell you
and
what,
that's a tie game.
They found something.
Right in the hand of White, who hands it to Ryan Anderson now, who's guarded there by Billy White. Stops, pops, and gets the bucket, and it's a lead for the London Lightning. The Hurricanes' 10-point lead has gone by the wayside, and now they're behind the 8 ball. Watson, bucket, and one. Scales, but unable to get the finish. But with a nice move, and you can see what he's got lots of talent. Be interesting what happens after this season is done.
And that's what they need.
It means the Hurricanes have got to, you know, take advantage of it.
They got to go inside. They got to work the ball inside some kind of way.
Washington, corner 3.
Well, don't listen to me. As Washington knocks down his second 3 ball from the same spot on the evening.
Off to the races, Clint Scales, no, look, one hand, Billy White, and Lava.
The pace, and Clint Scales and Billy White just have that type of premonition. They don't need to say much to each other, just know where each other are on the court.
Two-handed flush, Billy White.
Yeah, I think
5:41 left to go. And London Lightning's ball, Doug Herring Jr. Now, this is the time when you need some veterans, but the easy inbound to Ryan Anderson. Whoa, defensive break. And White comes up with it. And now he'll go end-to-end, pops, puts the brakes on, Mason, 3, yes!
Unselfish basketball.
As soon as White threw that ball well into the stands, things have turned around.
And that's a good jump shot off the screen there by Kyle Johnson. He needs to get on Phillips.
No look, they a little bit too far out of the reach of White, but he does retrieve it. Clock at 2, White off the window and in.
Yeah, just too easy. The defensive switch was at the advantage of the Hurricanes as a smaller man, and Herring Jr. had no choice but to play Billy straight up, and he's just not going to win that battle. Nice move by Friesen, though, with the right hand.
Friesen.
Fourth, they got to do a better job of executing offensively and knock down some of these shots and take advantage of these turnovers.
Friesen.
And that's another nice take there off the dribble by Joel. 3 points, was 1 for 3 from the field, playing 14 minutes. And he's done an outstanding job in this third.
Phillips spins and shoots and gets it to go. That bucket there to bring it down to single digits. Anderson, big game here he's had. Williamson, he's also had success in bucket. So that's what you're saying. They were
ball game, and you got to think that he's going to try to make amends for that technical that he had in that third quarter.
It just may start to get him going. Anderson going down and really boisterous here at the Scotiabank Center for Billy White's back-to-back jams. It's kind of hushed down now. 4-point game, making a 2-point game as jam.
See if that can be continuous and consistent here throughout the fourth.
Chance for a tie or the lead, but it's going to be the tie as White inside to Anderson. Crucial stages here, fourth quarter. Mason puts it up and no good as it hit the outside of the rim. Outlet, Williamson, jam, and the 9-0 run is now an 11-0.
To match that intensity in this fourth quarter.
The clock was winding down, Vince. I think maybe Clydesdale could have been more selfish and shot it. Cadogan, layup.
Great decision off the dribble drive there by
defending champions. Need to ring the bell, but they're giving up once again. Anderson, Williamson, tapped from White over to Capers.
That is beautiful. You just ball in transition. The ball never hit the floor once it got into the paint. The good shots were given up for better shots.
And Watson finally ends the 6-point game, but that's a big bucket.
16-0 run before that basket.
And White trying to start it there with the one hand.
Quarter to try to rebound, but they need an answer quickly here as things are starting to come undone.
There's a second shy of the halfway point. Ryan Anderson. And Watson was right in his.
Away from the rim and forced that tough shot with the shot clock dying from Clydesdales.
Cadogan hesitates and then tries and gets the bucket.
Pretty hesitation.
It's 13. Chance to make it a 2-possession here if they can shoot the 3. Pass almost picked off. White bounce pass to Washington inside. Bucket. 7-point game, 94-80. Both. And it's 96-87. 150 left to go. Poole, 3, yes!
Huge 3. Now they need a stop.
Go. 8-point game. Hurricanes need buckets and they need stops. Lightning continue to play through. Clydesdales, tough take it in.
Now they need a
Royce White. Anderson also have a big night here for the Lightning. Friesen, chance for the dagger against his whole team and gets the 3. And that
Cal Julius right now.
One of the friends comes over to tell Mills to settle down. Here's Cadogan, layup, bucket.
Yeah.
If Friesen, NBL Canada website, talk to the player of the game and have a couple of choices that you can actually go through, so you can tune into that one.
It's going to be pretty easy this evening. Ryan Anderson rebounding from a 1 out of 8 performance.